If you've started using AI for your content, but something still feels off, like the ideas are okay, the drafts are decent, but the content doesn't really sound like you, well, this is more common than you think. Most creatives are using AI, but not strategically. And today I'm going to show you how to turn AI from a basic tool into a true creative partner. Ciao, y'all. I'm Kiara, content marketer, AI powered content strategist, coach, and founder of the Museum Creative, where I help creative entrepreneurs simplify marketing, amplify their voice, and grow sustainable creative businesses through human first, AI supported content strategies. If you've been experimenting with AI but feel like the results are still generic or disconnected, this video will help you fix that. Because the difference isn't what AI tool you use, but how you use it. Let's start with what's going wrong. Most creatives use AI like this. They open the tool and type something like, give me content ideas for my business, or write a caption about my art. And yes, you get an output, but it often feels generic, flat, interchangeable. Why? Because AI can only work with the input you give it. So if your input is vague, the output will be vague too. This calls for a mindset shift. AI should never lead your content from start to end. You should. AI is there to support, not replace your thinking. That means before using AI, you need to be crystal clear on your goals, what you want to accomplish with your content, your audience, who they are and what they need help with, your message, how you position yourself, also in terms of tone, style, and personality. Once you bring that clarity into the process and train AI about it, AI becomes a much more powerful and supportive tool. Here's how to do this in 3 steps. Before opening any AI tool, ask yourself, what am I trying to achieve with this content piece? For example, do I want to attract new clients, educate my existing audience about my offers, start a conversation and build trust, share my perspective about a recurring topic in my niche? Then define who this content is for, what they're struggling with, what they need to understand first in order to buy from me. This step alone transforms your results because now AI isn't guessing, it's working with direction. Once you have clarity, the next step is how you communicate with AI. Instead of writing, give me content ideas for my Instagram, you might ask AI, give me 10 content ideas for people who struggle with chronic anxiety and depression and can find relief through supportive art therapy. Focus on educational and relatable topics that help nurture trust in my brand and what I offer. See the difference? The more specific your prompt is, the more relevant and useful the output becomes. Think of AI as a collaborator. The clearer your brief, the better the result. This is the most important step and the one most people skip: personalization. AI gives you a starting point for content creation, but your job is to elevate it. This is where your voice, experience, opinions, stories, perspective come into play. For example, you can add a personal story to the content draft, refine the tone to match your brand identity and personality, challenge or expand on the initial content idea, include real insights from your work or existing clients. This is what transforms content from AI generated to human, original, resonant, and memorable. Let me give you a quick example.
Right, so this is how we move from creating an AI draft that can already be good if you already have trained AI to speak like you, to use your tone of voice, to use your perspective, your writing style, to human content. So this is how we basically shift from um, a draft that is still good, but it's already good, but still needs improvement, to human led, resonating, impactful content, which happens with, optimization. So you need to elevate your content even further, even with the help again of AI. So let's say that your brand role is to be a vintage artist specializing in interior design, and your target audience is homeowners who value history, character, and sustainability. So you have clarity on your target audience, and you know that their core problem or need is this. They see their homes as personal stories, so they seek unique, one of a kind pieces that transform their space. Your vintage artworks are the perfect fit for them, and you want to guide them towards the best choice for their needs. So that's how you see a way to connect your brand, your presence, your offers to your target audience. You know that you can help them through your vintage art. You know that that's the perfect fit that responds to their specific need or problem, like we saw here. So, one of the most recurring questions they have is this: how can I make an old piece work in a modern functional home? So this is one of the most recurring questions, and you want to create targeted content around this problem with the help of AI, because AI can help you expedite the overall content creation process, make it easier, and help you really create content that is highly targeted to your audience's needs or problems. So this is an AI prompt that you can use in this situation, assuming again that AI already knows everything about your brand. So you trained it, you maybe fed AI with some good writing samples, past social media posts, blog posts, or newsletters that clearly express your writing style, your tone of voice, your brand personality. So from there, you can tell AI, write an Instagram post about the 5 best ways to make vintage pieces coexist with modern comforts without the space feeling dated or cluttered. So you already know what your post will be about. The message should be helpful and motivate my ideal clients to inquire about my latest vintage collection. So you also have clarity on why you're creating this content piece, because you want people to learn more about your vintage collection. Keep the tone friendly, encouraging, and valuable. So that's where you give some more indications, some more instructions on how you want your content to sound. And end the post with a clear CTA, call to action, inviting them to reply with vintage. So a keyword that you want your people to comment or DM you to get first access to my new collection. So this is a way to move your followers forward, right? And by telling them what to do next, and you also create a content piece that is already clear in all these steps, from what you want to achieve with this post, how this post can be helpful and relevant to your target audience's problem. And then you also have a clear CTA invitation to take the next step, which is again asking your people to DM the word vintage to get first access to your new collection. So AI will give you an already good first draft. So from there, it's time to optimize it and make it sound even more like you, so you don't feel like you're sounding like anybody else, or you're sounding too generic or robotic and just sloppy. You're not creating sloppy content. This way you are optimizing and creating content that is fully in line with your audience's needs and creates a connection between you as a brand and your ideal client. So these are the 5 steps that I recommend you taking when optimizing your AI generated content. Step number 1, read through the draft and identify what feels too generic. If there's anything that doesn't sound like you change it. This is a time when you can edit the content, make it even better and more um, resonating with your audience, starting from how you would write, right? So if there's anything that needs to be changed, that's where you do this. Step number two, add your perspective. What do you actually think about this topic? So this is where you can add some more thoughts. Maybe AI presents a specific concept, but you have, based on your experience, based on your knowledge, you have, a unique perspective about this specific topic. That's where you can add this. Step number three, include a real example from your own business or a client experience. And this is where you use storytelling, because storytelling is really powerful to make your content very engaging and also memorable. People remember more about what you do through stories that are aligned with what they're dealing with what they're feeling right now, so with their problem. So you can tell a story about something that happened in your own business that you have learned and now you want to share your own perspective and guidance. Or you can also talk about a customer story, a successful story about an existing client who transformed their life. They overcame that problem, that specific need, thanks to you, thanks to your help, and in this case, thanks to your vintage artworks, because again, you met them where they were, because they were looking for how to make an old piece work in a modern functional home, and you gave your expertise on that topic, also through a personal story or a customer success story, right? Then there's step four, where you adjust the tone to make the content sound like how you would naturally speak or write. So this is where you can adjust the tone, include some metaphors, include some jokes or some emojis, depending again on how you naturally speak and write on a daily basis. So make it sound more and more like you. And then step number five, simplify or restructure your content where needed to make the content more engaging and easier to read. Because maybe sometimes ChatGPT or any other AI tool might include long lists or other paragraphs that are not fully aligned with the way you would write the content piece. So make it engaging, make it accessible, and really easy to read for your target audience. So once you follow these 5 steps, you will have elevated your content and optimize it in a way that is highly engaging, that is highly valuable, resonating, is authentic, aligned, and truly helpful for your target audience. So you have transformed a basic draft into something that is incredibly helpful and again valuable for your audiences, and also valuable for the goals that you want to achieve through your content.
When you start using AI this way, everything shifts. You're not dependent on it. Rather, you're directing it with intention. And that gives you more control over your content, more consistency in your voice, more confidence in your overall strategy. AI becomes a strong tool that finally supports your creativity, not something that replaces it. If AI has felt underwhelming or frustrating so far, it's not because it doesn't work. It's because no one showed you how to use it strategically and purposely. Once you combine clarity, specific prompts, and your human perspective, that's when AI becomes truly powerful. And if you want a simple way to start using AI more effectively, I created a free guide for you. 5 AI-powered solutions for creatives who dread marketing. Inside, I walk you through practical ways to use AI for brainstorming, content creation, and workflow without losing your voice. You can download it through the link in the description box. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more strategies on using AI and content marketing to grow your creative business. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope it'll inspire you to create more impactful content, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!